Hello my beautiful people, you are welcome back to today's tutorial. How you guys doing? I love you friends for your support. I love you. I really appreciate you all, and God bless you for that. And please, if you are new to this channel, please click on the subscribe button, and also please click on the notification bell so that each time I upload a new video you will get notified. I love you all. So my beautiful people, in today's class I'll be showing you guys how to cut and sew princess that plum neckline blouse. It could be V shape, yes. The neckline is optional. So ignore my pattern paper, is a bit rough with the machine oil. So this is our pattern paper. This is interfacing. This is our stay. We'll be adding to the lining. This is the net I'll be using. You can actually use lace, yes. So I will quickly take it to my own table, give it a very nice press. And this is the fabric I'll be working with. And also the padding for those that will not be making use of ready-made cup. I'll be making use of ready-made cup, so I won't be making use of this. So the measurement required here, our shoulder measurement, this is our hip depth. This is the bust point, under bust, and our half length. So we also be needing our nipple to nipple. Remember, is princess that bustier. Excuse me. So let's quickly get started. So before then, remember this is a pattern paper. So white transfer, don't forget that. Always add the 0.5 inch here. This says as just the same allowance to attach to the back panel. That is just all. So for the back panel, you could decide to make it the same thing as princess that or normal bodies. No, you could also decide to use the lacing, yes, because the upper part you could use the yoke for the back panel. So back panel is also optional. So let's quickly now get started. So the nipple to nipple are working. That is the bust span is 4 inches. Remember, it's into fold. 4 inches. 0.5 same allowance, making it 4.5 inches. You can see 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. So I'll quickly take my ruler to connect it. See, so we want to place our waist down, but before then we have to quickly find the midpoint of our armhole depth, which is this. Is 8 inches, which is 4 inches, which is here. So what I have here, let me repeat, is just my excuse me, from shoulder to the knee bust point, shoulder to the under bust, and the half length. There is the waistline, and this is just the same allowance. So we have to clean our place our waist dart. I'll be working with waist dart of 1.5 inches. And you see, so I will place 1.5 inches here. So for this part, I will only add the 0.5 inch. You could decide to place 3 inches here and leave this part this way. But I want to create enough space for the bows to sit. Remember, I'll be using a ready-made cup. So this is just, like, you could decide to use 1 inch here. So here is also optional. Just use your discretion to know the bust measurement you are working with, to know how you create your cup to have more space for the bows to sit. I have to quickly connect it. Remember, this is our bust point. I will connect it this way. Actually, I've done video on princess, how to draft a princess that bustier. So this is this. So just connect it. This is under bust. This is just 0.5 inch. So for the bust point, step down just 0.5 inch. But if you are working with a plus size, I just came down by just 0.5 inch. You step down by 1 inch. I'll quickly take my ruler to connect it. This is the bust point. I said earlier, I've actually done video on this. For more detail, I will drop you the link as well. You can see we are just using that manipulation. Yeah, you see what I'm doing, guys. Place it properly to meet that 0.5 inches. Step down with. Ignore mine. Like so this is it. So now we're done with the waist dart. You can see these parts will be going off. We'll be eliminating these parts. So for the upper part, for this is the bust point, don't forget that. Make sure you blend it properly. I will step up also just by 0.5 inch. So I will connect it to my ruler to meet this part. You can see this midpoint here, our armhole. Just to connect, you see what we have now. This is it. So from this one, you will step out by just 1 inch. The reason is this after stitching so that you will not have shortage. So I will have to quickly take my ruler also to extend it this way. Watch closely, guys. Extend it. You can see what we have. So I will placing 0.5 inch on both sides. That's 1 inch. That here, 0.5 here, 0.5 here. So I will connect it now to make sure everything blends properly. You can see. Just to blend it, just to make sure everything blends properly. Can you see what we have? Sorry, guys. So this is it. My marker, sorry, guys. So this is just 1 inch in between. These parts will be going off. We'll be eliminating that part, but we'll be placing it. So now that we're done with this, we have to clean up, place our armhole. Now you can see from this 1 inch we step out with. See what I'm doing, guys. Connect it. So this is this. So this is just for those that be making use of blouse. So we are done now connecting our dart. So this part now just 1 inch I used. So I'll be adding to my bust measurement to add it up so that by the time I finish joining it, I won't have shortage here. As I said earlier, I've done video on this. I'll be dropping the link. This is just the waist dart. But if you're making it casual, what do I mean? Maybe you're just using a stretchy fabric. There's no need for all this. Just add your waist dart. There's no even need for this, okay? But this for those that are making use of blouse. Yes. So this is just it. We are done with this. We have to now quickly place our bust round measurement. So whatever bust measurement you are working with, divide by 4. Mine is 42 into 4 parts is 10.5 inches, which is this. But remember this 1 inch, I will have to add it up. So I'll be placing it this way. Remember the bust line controls the armhole. You can see what we have now. So the under bust is 8 inches. See, into 4 parts is 8 inches plus this 2 inches waist dart, making it 10 inches. So I will quickly place it this way. The waist is 8 inches as well, plus the 2 inches waist dart, making it 10 inches. Can you see what you have? So now I have to clean and connect it. But before then, remember, we've not added same allowance. So I have to add same allowance. I'll be working with same allowance of 1.5 inches. You can as well work with more than that, okay? So this is it, 1.5 inches. You say 1.5 inches. So I will quickly connect it now. So we are done connecting it now. So let's quickly now cut it out. This 0.5 inch serves as same allowance to add it to the bar panel. I just indicate this for better understanding. So we'll cut it this way. This is how you cut it. This is just 1 inch extension for the dart to avoid shortage. So this is it. So let's put this aside. So now we want to create our neck line. So we want to create a neckline. So before creating your neckline, there are things you should put into consideration. So it's deep neck. So some of your clients may not like it, show whereby their bows it's been exposed. So always make sure you ask them. So I will show you two methods and how to go about that if you don't want your client's boo or yours to be exposed. So first, you have to look for your bust radius. But with that bust radius is a guide around your bust, okay, to know the neckline, the width measurement. So now let's quickly find the bust radius is 3.5 inches. So I will place it this way. This is just for a guide. Place it this way. You see? Place it this way. 3.5 inches. That is the bust radius, the dot line. So this is it. So you can see. So we're done tracing it. So also, if you are making use of lace, you have to also check how stretchy your lace is. And making use of this skin, you can see you have to check how stretchy it is, so that you will know the measurement you were going to place here. For instance, now like mine, you can see how stretchy it is. So I won't be placing up to 1 inch. The reason is that by the time I open it up, I'll be having inches. Remember, it stretches. And at the back, I'll be making use of lacing. So it will stretch and my boobs will be exposed. So I'll be placing 0.5 inch. So by the time I open it up in between my boobs, I'll be having a 1 inch because it stretches. And also, I won't be adding same allowance while cutting on this. You know, we're using a paper to transfer it to our fabric and our nets. For those that are working with lace, it's still the same thing. So I will not be adding same allowance here because it stretches. But for those that want to expose their bows, you just use your discretion. There's no need for that. Just place 1 inch. No, here will be more open. 1 inch. By the time you open it up, you're having 2 inches in between your bows down to your waistline. So I will be placing 0.5 inch. 0.5 inch. So by the time I open it up, I will have 1 inch because it stretches. You can see stretches. So let me connect it for the down part. For this down part here is just straight. Yes. From this part down is straight this way. So it's time to create our neckline. Before then, if you look at that our thumbnail, you will see the second picture. The net started here. So the main fabric is extended as the princess cut to the shoulder. Okay, so just the skin net that ended here. So the first picture you can see there is to the neckline. So it depends how you want it, but I will show you guys how to achieve the both. So now to place our neck measurement, I'll be working with neck measurement of 3.5 inches. So by the time we finish stitching, it will be having 4 inches. So I will place it this way, 3.5 inches. You see what we have now. So this is it. So we have to put and connect it. See, it's 3.5 inches. If you decide to work with 4 inches for the neck width, it's optional. So I will connect it this way. It's not straight. You don't connect it straight. It's not, and it's not just straight. It's a bit curvy. You make it this way. Connect it. Let me use dot line first, just to explain to you guys. You see what I mean? It's not straight, it's curvy this way. See? So you could decide to extend your neckline. So by the time you extend your neckline, it's also this way. So you connect it. So this is just the neckline, you can see. So let me quickly blend it now. I will place it this way. See, it's curvy there. See? So you see how curvy it is. It's not just straight. You see what we have now. Let me place it properly. You see, so look at our bust radius. So by the time we finish stitching, our boots will not be exposed because what we are making use of, which is our net, stretches. But if yours doesn't stretch, go in more, at least 1 inch. So sorry guys, for those that want half fair, net. Let me place it. I just want you guys to understand it now. You see what I mean? For instance, you just choose to make yours just to end here. Let's assume you are making use of the upper chest. That is the bust radius, is just this part. So what you should do, you will cut this into two. You will use to turn it, but if you want to extend yours, you also create your neckline. So let me quickly drag the both for a better understanding. For instance, I'm working with this. That's my net or my lace. For those who are making use of lace, you could decide to use another fabric. Yes, you don't want to part of body to be exposed. So I will place my neck depth. Watch closely. 1.5 inches. I will connect it this way, place it properly this way. See, so I want to connect my neckline. You see, I'm through. So you can see I'm done connecting. So I will just cut out. I will use my skin net to cut out this into two parts. I will use to turn the neckline if I'm not adding any trims there. Yeah, but if I add any trims, you could just decide to just cut it just one piece of this. But it's better when it's two to have that neat finishing on the neck area. Yes, or just use bias to run it out to have a neat finishing here. I'll be showing you that. But for those that want their skin net halfway, what you do, just place your tape on your from your bust line, let 3 inches, or you could decide to work with your bust radius. Remember, it's 3.5 inches this way. So the neck now, the skin net will end here, so they will cut out this part. Let me connect it as well so you guys can see it. So while cutting, you only cut this to this length, not to the neckline. So also you could decide to make it here now be joined to the back shoulder. Here is just the part that will join to the back shoulder. You could decide to make it deeper. See, you could decide to work with neckline of 4.5 inches. Yes. So by the time you have finished, so you'll be having about 5 inches. But this I'll be using dot lines. You will connect it. See, see what I said? So the neckline is optional. So now I'll be making use of this. But with this method, to be able to manipulate this, I will explain. The easiest one on how to achieve this, cut this down part into two. That is our net. If you are making use of lace, any combination, you can decide to use plain, yes, fabric there. You cut it two, so that by the time you finish stitching, the neckline will be neat, or add trims or use your bias as said earlier. So now we're out to clean now, cut out our dart. After cutting that, we transfer it to our fabric and move over to our sewing machine. But those that be padding, they will use the wadding, which is the interface is the strongest one, to pad, so to cover the part to make sure. But mine I be using already made cup. But let's quickly now cut it out. So guys, you can see we are done cutting. You can see how beautiful it is. But always remember to notch. Don't forget that while transferring to your fabric. So I've done everything. Now you can see how beautiful it is. So the next thing to do now, sorry guys, when I was cutting, I cut my 0.5 inch seam allowance. I'll add it while transferring to avoid shortage. So for the ear, now remember we only added here, we added 0.5 inch here. That's our bust per nipple to nipple. But this part we did not. So we added 0.5 inch to just to the fabric for the skin net, which is this. I will not be adding anything here because it stretches. It stretches. So I am not adding any same allowance here, but I'll be cutting this into two parts with this. Okay, so I will cut this also, the fabric and the lining, this fabric and lining, and this as well. So I will add 0.5 inch round here. So let me quickly over transfer them to my fabric. Then we'll move out to our sewing machine. So let's quickly do that. So before then, for those that will work with half length net, this is how it should look like. I'm not cutting that because I'm making use of the full length, which is to the neckline. So this is how it should look like. So now here is the neckline. You get it? So this is how it should look like. You see the same thing, the same process. It's not difficult. So you cut this into two also, cut it, stitch it, and turn it in for the neat finishing on this part. Run a straight line stitch. So by the time you're attaching it to the main fabric, the two side, you won't run into problems. That is just it. So now let me quickly transfer it now because I am making use of this long one to the neckline, say. So let's quickly now do that. So guys, you can see I'm done cutting them out, but for the neckline, you can see I've deepened it. You see what I did? For the client preferred this, you see, let me adjust it. So it's not that round, but I'll make it deeper a bit while stitching on this neckline. You could decide to work with this. So this is it. I've cut the lining, the fabric, the line, the fabric. So for those that will make use of interfacing, add your stain to your lining and you part this part by using your wadding, the hardest one, or just the cup area. You understand, just the cup area. I've done similar video on this. I also will drop the link. So that is it. So this is just it. Add it. If you are making use of interfacing, add it, pad it. That is all. I'm working with this. But the client is just wanting this. You know that client that doesn't want all this interfacing and all that. But if you are making a standard blouse, please add your interfacing to your lining. Add your wadding here. You could also add it to your fabric, yes. So but the center piece, I've cut it into two parts. The net, I've said that before. For those that are making use of lace, you could decide to cut only one, use bias strip to finish the neckline. So for the pattern paper, I want to quickly show you guys, in case you want to make exactly what is in that picture, the second thumbnail there, the pink. So let me show you what you should do. Let me quickly put all this aside. So look at the paper that we use. You can see this is it. So what you will just do is this. You can see what we have. You see this is our bust radius. So from this bust radius, you will just come this way. See what I'm doing, guys? From this bust radius, just curve it this way. That is just all. Excuse me. So for the neckline, you only add it this way, say. Now I've cut it out. I'm trying to make it blend properly. You see, as in from this part, it went in more. So this is just the shoulder now. So we'll be using this to attach to the back panel. This is just the shoulder. So it's wider. So remember we use 3.5 inches, but what you have here, by the time you measure it, it should up to 5.5 inches. So this is, so while cutting your net, so you cut it this way, not this one, because my client doesn't want here to be that exposed. But I still have to explain this. You cut it this way, see what we have. So it went in more. So this neckline is optional. So if you don't want to expose your bust, that is your boost, just work with a bust radius. So now let's quickly now move over to our sewing machine. So we want to stitch now. So this fabric and our line. So let's put it aside. First is our net. Yes. So I want to stitch it is two. stitch by 0.5 inch. And see what we have. I use black thread for a better view. See, let me blend it. So I will trim it out this way. Closely. So I will flip it in. See? But always make sure you use matching thread. Yes. See what we have. So I will take it to my own table, give it a very nice press. But before then, I will run a straight line stitch here and here to secure it. So we are done stitching it. You can see what we have. The same method if I extend yours to the neck to the shoulder line is the same method. You just stitch it, but this is the neckline. Have that in mind. If it's the up one, which is this, it's the same way we turn it here, you will turn it there. It's the same thing. So let me put it aside. We want to join our cup now. Right side facing the right side. You start stitching for the down part to make sure that bust matches. See? But make sure you add your interface in place. So we are done stitching the fabric. So we'll do the same to the lining. Remember, we have done, excuse me, the net. We have done. This is the fabric now. We have joined the fabric, so we have to quickly now join our lining the way we join our fabric. So we are done notching it now. We have notched both our line, everything. Now we want to attach our net. You see why it's very good to stitch it down just to secure it. So now I will pick one part. I will place it this way. Remember, for the down part I use the same length, so I will place it this way. I will stitch 0.5 inch to the neckline and show you guys. For the lining, you can top stitch on your lining, both on your main dress. For the princess cuts, you can top stitch. So I will stitch this way. And you see, place it properly. See? Last stitch. And machine thread. I really need to adjust my machine before I continue. Please, sorry, doesn't record is my camera, so I adjust it this way now. Remember we only added 0.5 inch, so I'm only stitching without just 0.5 inch. Adjust it properly. Stitch. Place it. Remember this part is curvy this way, so place it properly. That's it. See what I'm doing, guys. So you can see we are done stitching it. So you have to place it this way to check if the neckline, everything matches. You can see the princess that you can see the lines, everything matches. So now it's time to stitch on our excuse me, lining. Yes, we have to add our lining. You can see the cup area. I'll be fixing my already made cup and see how neat it is. Can you see? So let's quickly now introduce our lining. So we'll face this way, the right side. So the lining, remember by the time you finish stitching it, it should be this way. So that means this is the right side. So I will flip it this way, pick my lining, place it on this part, turn it this way to stitch. See? So the neckline. So let's quickly stitch it now. Place it properly. See? So we have to stitch. Adjust the other part so that you won't stitch on it. Open it up this way. But before you do all this, make sure you give it a very nice press, please. So you bust it. See? Turn it this way. It's very simple, guys. See? That's it. So I will do the second side. See? So I will pick the second lining. This is this part. You can see this is the wrong side. This is how it should look like when you are done. See what we have right now. So the second lining, I'll place it this way to stitch it. Wrong side facing the wrong side. See? So let's quickly stitch it too. So you can see we are done stitching it now. I've opened it up. You can see how beautiful it looks. This is the wrong side. I'll be fixing my cup. This is the wrong side. You can see how cup it is. This is the wrong side. The space for the boots to sit. You can see. So this is the right side. Can you see? So we have to quickly now cover it. But before then, you could decide to top stitch it so that you sit properly. Your lining won't be obstructing your net. Or use aiming gum. For mine, I will top stitching because I don't have aiming gum at the moment. So I will place it this way, stitch it straight, top stitch it. So let's quickly do that, guys. So I'm done top stitching this part. You can see. So when you top stitch, this is how it will look like. For those that be using hemming gum, this is how it will look like. You see? I don't know if you guys can really see it. Okay. See? But if you are using hemming gum, just place your hemming gum here. Give it a very nice press. So I think it's better by the time you use the hemming gum. So let me lose. I will be losing this part and use my hemming gum. Can you see how neat it is? So for the two sides, we want to close it up. So how do we close it up? This way, you flip it right side of your line, facing right side of your fabric. So I will stitch it close. You can see I will stitch it close. So let's quickly do that, guys. So place it this way by 0.5 inch. Remember, I just added used the only one excuse me, only 1.5 inches same allowance. So I'm using 0.5 inch to stitch it close back stitch. So I will turn it this way and you see what you have. So this other part, I will do the same thing. Right side, sorry guys, right side of my fabric facing the right side of my lining. So I will turn it this way and stitch as well, just 0.5 inch. Place it properly, back stitch. Sorry guys, my machine thread. We continue. That's it. See? So we'll turn it. See what we have. So now let's quickly move over to ironing table. Give it a very nice press and move over to our cutting table. Let me quickly show you guys how beautiful it is. It's really simple, guys. Let's move over to our ironing table. So my beautiful people, we are done. Can you see how beautiful and easy it is? This is our pattern paper. Let's put it outside. Can you see what we have here? This is the cup area. Like I said earlier, I'll be using already made cup. So you can see how it is. It's really simple, guys. Can you see? I've told you guys the neckline is optional. You could decide to make it deeper or more curvy, like what I explained to you guys here. See, you can make it more curvy this way. Let me adjust it. Can you see what I explained to you guys? You can make it deeper this way from this point, go in more like this second line. So I actually use this first line, which is this. So the neckline is there. Option, you can see in between the bows, you can see what we have. Can you see? So the bows will not be exposed. Can you see what I was talking about? So the down part, can you see? So it's really simple, guys. Can you see the wrong side? How neat it is, how relaxed everything it is. So by the time I add my cup, can you see everything will sit properly? So guys, please, if you find this my video interesting, please click on the like button there. If you have any question, drop it on the comments section. And please, if you are new to my channel, click on the subscribe button there. And also, please click on the notification bell so that each time I upload a new video, you will get notified. I love you all. I remain Chi Living Signature. Bye for now.